Okay, everybody, we're live, and this was a smoother transition this time than the last one.
Meanwhile, we've been trying to do this for over an hour.
Yeah. Well,
No, we haven't been doing this for an hour.
in the background, we have no idea what we're doing, but we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
So today we're going to discuss a couple of things, maybe a little bit of Enphase, what they're doing, and definitely what Pilot posted about the margins for Tesla versus other car companies.
Well, why don't we just announce right away that we are going to invite a Patreon member to join us, but there is a 2-drink minimum for this party.
Okay, let me put it in the member updates. So if one of you guys wants to join us,
well, if you post that,
let us know
in the updates, we're gonna
live.
Where is that?
I put it in member updates, so we'll see. We'll see if anybody actually cares.
Okay. If anybody's even watching right now.
Yo, our Patreon members are the best. They expect nothing from us.
Nothing from us. They just give us money for coffee or gas.
We've been spending it on call options on FUV.
Yes. Oh yeah.
All right. Is anybody joining us here? We got 3 watchers. Joseph. It says comment.
Joseph.
He says comment.
Comment.
Okay, that's it. Just a comment.
Yep.
All right. I'm sure at least another 5 people will come on board.
It's actually fine. Happy Friday.
Oh yeah, I have my drink too. I just want to point out this is our Friday booze fest.
Nice choice.
It's better when you drink on the internet. Honestly, I don't mind it as much. Like
you don't feel like a scumbag. Yeah, it's like same with heroin and cocaine.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But honestly, I don't really drink beer too much. Even Fridays too. I'll just go, just chill and watch like Netflix and chill. That kind of thing.
You don't. You were never really a big drinker, and like that's been a thing of mine. It's kind of like a pet peeve. I just don't trust people that don't. Oh, this is
that don't drink.
That's Tesla.
Tesla's calling you?
Yeah, I'll text him and I'll call him back.
Okay, what do they want?
I had an issue of like whatever. I'll talk to you about it offline, but I had an issue and I was like, let me just call the guy that I was dealing with about it to deal with. But like that goes to show you Friday at 6:00, Tesla is calling me and returning my phone call. That's
good.
That's pretty good service. Those guys, they're on point.
I mean, GM at 5:30 is asleep.
Oh yeah, Mary Barra's in church right now.
Oh, well, we don't want to get into that, but yeah, she's not. She's just at home. How about if she's just at home, not doing shit? It's kind of amazing. Yeah, let's talk about this actually, and then we'll go to the chart that Pilot shared. But it's kind of amazing that Elon sort of totally effed Big Auto, okay, and Biden at the same time, lowered his prices, and then of course Biden and co and the IRS are like, oh my God, we didn't want this to happen.
We didn't do it enough. We didn't like screw them enough.
So now we screwed us back.
Yeah. So now we have to like save face and just lower the price, lower the threshold and make the.
But 80,000. It's 80,000 now.
What? Yeah, it's 80,000 for SUV.
Because GM, but hold on, GM and Ford and all those guys also had vehicles needed to be
the Cadillac Lyric. Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy that he did that. He pulled a power move. That was like a serious power move.
That's what I'm saying. The guy is just operating on he's thinking 4 or 5 steps ahead. Like you don't think he knew that was going to happen. Now the thing is, wait till the buybacks are announced. That's going to come when you least expect it, and it's going to have the same effect as it had with Meta. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, should we allow Amit and Chris to join our podcast, or is that just the same thing?
If they got a drink, they gotta have a drink.
Oh yeah, you got to drink. We can send you a link, but you got to drink. That's really the the main thing. This is the only way we can go live, is if we can.
Well, it's the only thing that differentiates it from the finance junkies, right? Is that we're drinking on this, and we do crack on the finance junkies.
Right. All right, I'll send it to the group if they want to join. That's up to them. And then if some special Patreon guest wants to join us and talk about something interesting, can't be about nothing. Has to be about something interesting.
Sorry, Johnny Boy says, sorry, I'm busy researching the sun.
Well, we're going to talk about that, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, right.
Hysterical.
And Pilot says, I have a face for radio. Okay, I agree. I said I agree. I don't know. And yeah, busy researching the sun. Okay. We all have faces for radio. It's not like we're the best looking guys
We are
anymore. Maybe in
not.
our
No.
20s. In our 20s, we were sexy.
Well, pull
But
up that picture. Actually, speaking of which, pull up that picture. The one you posted on the in the web in the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp group.
do you have it?
Yeah, I got it from when we were in a band. Do you want to tell them the name of our band back in the day?
Yeah, sure. Go
So
ahead.
they know that we've been just assholes for 30
right.
years.
Yeah, go ahead.
The name of our band was OHJ. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think OHJ. No.
Wait, you saying this
Yeah.
right? No. Yes.
OHJ.
Yes.
What does
Yes.
OHJ stand for?
Uh,
Find the photo.
let me see. Y'all need to announce these things way sooner. Chris says, look, we do this because like spur of the moment, we go online. If people want to join us,
it's after work drinks. It's after work.
If people want to join us, that's fine. Well, you know, like yeah, as you can tell, we don't release videos every single day, so that's kind of hard.
Well, the thing was that
we'd rather make it spontaneous, you know?
Yeah, we couldn't connect on a time to actually record a video. And so it just kind of made sense to go live.
Let me see what's on. And Carlos, when are you joining Daily Cowbell? That's what Joseph wants to know.
Oh shit! When? Let's do this. What time? What time do you guys record that?
Usually 9:30 for like 20 minutes.
But 9:30. Okay, 9:30 your time. So like 6:30.
Something like that. It depends when I get off of work, but around there. Amit says I don't drink. Okay, you're not welcome then.
No, I said that Chris would drink his shot for him.
Is Chris willing to drink? Did he say that?
I'm sure he does.
Chris has already.
He's a meta investor. He's got to drink. Dude.
Chris has already redacted a message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. So let's continue.
Look, Dex Invictus.
What's he saying?
Look, he's saying only homosexual.
No.
He's get close.
No. I think we can write it in. It's occasional.
Yeah, we write it in the comments.
Right. I gave you the 2 words. Occasional hand. Okay, you figure out the J. All right. So you want to talk about this article on Tesla?
Only homosexual Joes. Ranger the dog. Screw you.
No, we already said it.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you're talking the Enphase thing, or the
no, this is the margins for Tesla. So let me share my screen, and we'll go over it because I didn't go over it yet. So present.
Yeah, share the screen. I was actually like, you look, if you go back on our videos, I was actually really bearish on NIO, like really kind of hating on NIO. And I'm just not a fan of the battery swap thing, but I did think that they would be somewhat successful, especially with the backing of the government. And I'm surprised at how hard it's been for them.
Yeah. In fact, let me go to NIO right now. Apparently they're negative 19,000. XPeng is doing better than NIO. Wow, Chinese EV startups have suffered heavy losses in recent quarters. Both XPeng and NIO have pointed to ongoing supply chain issues and strict COVID-19 lockdowns.
How could they? What supply issues are they having? Everything's made in China.
I know, that's kind of weird. How is Tesla beating them at their own game, right? It's kind of amazing. And here's Tesla. These are the margins, apparently. I thought Tesla's margins were more than 10,000.
No, that was gross margin. This is probably net.
Oh, yeah, it says net profit per vehicle. Okay, so that's their net. This is after all expenses here,
everything.
Right?
Yeah, they got 9.95.
Amazing. And look, and Toyota, wow. Imagine only making like 1,100 for, 4,000 pound vehicle. It's kind of crazy. BYD 1,500, GM 2,100. So GM is doing better than BYD and Toyota in this scenario.
You have to look at their sales, like the overall sales number. Like Toyota's probably I think Toyota makes more profit because they're selling more vehicles, right? They just have a bigger volume.
Yes, they do sell more vehicles. What is it? Around 10 million, right? Somewhere around, I think it went down, but 7 million now or so, right?
There was a great, actually, while you're doing that, I'm going to look for this great chart that I saw on Twitter the other day.
Yeah. And Ford, negative 762. So is Ford never profitable selling vehicles? Is this what this is saying?
Where?
So Q3 at least. Q3, 2022.
But Ford, are these EVs only?
No, I don't think so. These are just profit margins for vehicles.
Yeah, because look, Tesla's grip over the EV market. So that's Ford's. This is okay. So this is the net profit per vehicle of the EV division.
Well, does it say that? No, this can't be that because Toyota doesn't really make EVs, do they? Is this
Hybrids
counting?
count.
I know this is a little bit tough.
Hybrids count. Hybrids count.
Okay, maybe. I think you're right because Neo's here Xpeng. I think you're right. Okay.
God damn it, where was
Chart Tesla's unrivaled profit margins. In January this year, Tesla made the surprising announcement that it would be cutting prices on its vehicles by as much as 20%. While price cuts are now not new in the automotive world, they are for Tesla. Okay, the company, which historically has been unable to keep up with demand, has seen its order backlog shrink from 476,000 units in July 2022 to 74,000 in December 2022. This has been attributed to Tesla's robust production growth, which saw 22 production increase 41% over 2021, from 930,000 vehicles to 1.3 million vehicles. Okay, that's good. They're aiming for this year. They said 1.8 million at the low, and 2 million. Elon was saying possibly. So if it is 1.8 million, by the way, that 50% growth we keep talking about is not happening. I think that's like 35% growth.
But again, to clarify the 50% thing, they were like averaged over a couple of years, they would be 50% growth. They didn't say it was 50% year over year. I don't know if the Wall Street or the analysts are purposefully misreading that, or if they just don't get that. I mean, even if you look at their earnings statement at the bottom, it says that the 50% compounded growth year over year, or not year over year, is an average, right? So when you look at the next 5 to 10 years, it will average to be 50%.
Correct me I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they actually said 2023 50% growth still expected. I think they still said that.
That would be right. That'd be 1.8, right?
No, it would be over 2 million cars. So if it's 1.38, right? Calculator. Let me get the calculator out. 1.38 times 1.5 here. 2.07 million cars. So you have to sell more than 2 million cars in order to hit that 50% growth. And Elon did say we're aiming for 2 million, but he did say 1.8 is what their baseline is.
Yes.
So,
do you think they'll be over 2 million?
I think they will, because if they keep the prices down, I think they will hit the 2 million. Yeah.
At this, well, it's more about production. I don't think it's a demand thing. It's
both. Well, let's face it. If the prices come down and they're sticking around 50,000, and you got the $7,500 credit, Tesla's a no-brainer. Just no-brainer. I mean, it becomes so easy. But if they start raising prices again to slow down demand, because now they have double the orders for production, right? That they can't meet production. It's double the production count. So this might be an issue, and they might raise prices back up, thereby slowing the number of cars being ordered once again. And they might not hit the 2 million in that case. But if they keep the prices down, I think they will hit the 2 million.
I mean, as they keep ramping up, their ability to keep the prices down also remains the same.
Yeah, right? I mean, either way, look, it's a good problem to have for them. It's either 1.8 million or 2 million. They're growing either 35% or 50%. What other company is growing 35% compounded besides like a penny stock?
Right.
Okay.
What? How many Cybertrucks do you think? Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to the Tesla show tomorrow. I'm going to the. I'll send you the link. You can post that, or just take a look at the website. I wanted to stand in front of a Cybertruck.
That'd be cool to take some pictures and video.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot some stuff tomorrow.
All right, let's check. Are there any good comments? I've been ignoring them, so let me see. All right, so
I sent you a link, a nice visual graph of Tesla's earnings, and then the thing at the Peterson exhibit. If you want to look at that,
you can share a screen. You want to do that?
No, it's right there. It's sending it to you as a chat, because I'm looking up some other stuff. I'm looking for that one. There was someone that posted right after Tesla earnings. They were like the only 4 charts you need to see, and it was like 4 beautiful charts about how Tesla compares to the legacy automakers. I cannot find it now. I wish there was a way. Is there like a way to look at your browsing history in Twitter? This would be a question for Amit. This would be like, Amit, how do I do this?
Oops, no, hold on. Still learning this.
Yeah.
Stop screen.
Yeah, this is why StreamYard's wonky.
Well, he's got to do share screen. Okay, so then go to the Sawyer Merritt thing. Let's see what he says. So, bird's eye view. You want to read this?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Okay.
So hold on. This is a bird's eye view of Tesla's Q4 income statement, just to see what's going on. All right. So it's a little bit convoluted of a graphic, but it's showing gross profit, operating profit, net profit here.
Net
So
profit
net
3.7.
profit 3.7 billion. That's what it's showing. Some interest, taxes, other, SG&A, R&D, restructuring. So
God,
operating expenses, you can see that their operating expenses are low.
are really low. Look at the R&D. What is that? 800 million?
Yeah, what is this part right here?
That's the
That's
cost of revenue.
so 18.5 billion. Okay,
they
revenue total is 24. Here you go. Revenue is 24.38 0.3 billion. 37% growth year over year, not the 50%. That's why we got hammered to $100.
Yep.
Okay, so cost of revenue 18.5, and here we go, gross profit 5.8, and then this is how it's spread out. Okay, now I'm starting to understand all this.
Right. So they have the gross profits 5.8 billion, 24% margins, then 16% margin operating profit when you take out their expenses, and their expenses are basically $1 billion SG&A, R&D, restructuring. What's that? Well, 34 million. It's like nothing to them. And then
that's pocket change.
Operating profit, tax, other, and then net profit 3.7 billion. What did Giga Texas cost? Was it like 5 billion?
I don't know. I don't know the final cost, but the thing is, obviously that expense has been already done. So this gross profit should be increasing because they have two factories now ramping, right?
Yeah.
They have Giga Berlin and Giga Texas now ramping. So cost per vehicle is dropping. You know, the COGS is dropping, obviously. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how much money we make. And now we have also a bull. Chris has become a full-time bull. We can't even argue with him anymore.
Shouting from the rooftops.
Right. He's sending us links now. I'm like,
I know.
oh
He's like,
God.
did you know this? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know that we're necessarily, even if Tesla has a couple of gangbuster quarters back to back to back, I don't know that we're going to see that reflected in the stock price. I just feel like a lot of the analysts, the pundits are just talking about the price of the stock. It's not connected to the fundamentals, because otherwise they'd be having the bigger argument would be whether or not Tesla is a car company or more, right? That would be what the question is. It's almost not even really a question in mainstream media. They just say it's a car company and what are their operating margins? What are their profits? That's really what it comes down to. And so I don't know how long it's going to take Wall Street to get it. I mean, I don't know. I read somewhere that Tesla was 45% owned by retail. So there is a little more push in retail. Like we have a little more weight, but still 55% of the money in Tesla is from institutions, and they're just not getting it still.
I think you put up that, bring up the chart of BlackRock and Vanguard seem to own a nice 10, 15% of Tesla, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you just go to, here, I'll bring it up. If you go to,
I'm going to stop the share for this thing.
right, go to Yahoo.
Let me see the comments here. We've been ignoring them.
All right, let's
5 billion. Okay, so Cameron does say it costs 5 billion to build.
Okay, but that 5 billion,
Texas.
I don't know if they paid for all of that up front. Like that's what it'll cost totally, but I don't know that they spent the 5 billion last year.
And Amit is going live soon. Honestly, who needs to hear more bullshit Palantir discussion? Nobody.
I think he meant live with us.
No, it's Palantir Daily now. Guys,
that conversation that you and I had the other day about Palantir, like I'd love, man, if we recorded that and just played that for Amit, like that would have been awesome.
Yeah, well, we can discuss it again and let all 19 people that we have on our stream versus his 300 who are going to attack.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else do we have here? Don't hate Michael James. Listen, that's all we can do.
Don't hate on what? On Palantir?
On Palantir. Don't hate on Palantir.
Come on, guys.
I'm getting Billy Crystal vibes from Vitaly. Any relation? Yeah, he's my dad.
Billy Crystal?
Ranger the dog. Overtly homosexual Joes. Yes.
Just went straight for the nuts.
Occasional Hand J is what the band was called. It was a fun band.
Yeah, no, it was fun, and we got all the ladies.
Okay.
Put it like this: our first show as that band, the guy that was that owned the venue busted out this gigantic recorder. I remember we saw like the red light. We saw like this red light in the audience when we were on stage, and when we got off. We went up to the guy and we asked him like, "What was that?" He's like, "I had to record you guys because when you get famous, I want to say that this was the place that you played your first show."
Right. Who
Have-
knew we
have
would
that-
just get YouTube famous? That's it.
Oh, yeah, but YouTube famous would be a couple of Bitcoin right now.
Yeah. YouTube infamous. That's the word we're going for.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your share? Do you have the BlackRock Vanguard thing?
Yeah. Share screen, and then I'm gonna share this one. All right. So can you see?
There you go.
All right. So that's this is just a fun exercise to do with any stock. You go to the Yahoo Finance thing and you go to the holders just to look at the top holders of the company. You know, I like to look at like the insider, see what they're doing. But look, here you go, Vanguard and BlackRock. This is something that I responded to Farzad because he was shocked that BlackRock owned 5.4%, and I was like, dude, Vanguard owns even more. I think BlackRock owned more before, and Vanguard looks like it's doubling down. And then someone completely blew my mind when they replied that I think Vanguard or BlackRock has like a stake in the other. So like BlackRock also has a stake in Vanguard.
Oh, I'm sure there must be a lot of, infidelity in
It's
sort of
like a
Wall Street.
financial circle jerk, man. Like
how much let me see, what is it? How much institutional
oh yeah,
ownership?
but like literally look up any company, Microsoft, right? Microsoft top holders.
Okay, institutional ownership of Tesla is only 43%. There you go.
All right, so that means retail.
This is coming from Nasdaq.com. So there you go. 43% only. Total shares outstanding, 3 million. Total value of holdings, 258 billion. That's what it's saying. 258 billion. Is that right? 258 billion. Yeah. Is that
Right.
half the market cap? That's around half the market cap. It's around 500 billion for the company.
For the company, yeah.
I'm just looking. New positions, 204
So
sold out positions.
lot of
Oh,
money.
wow. Listen, new positions, 204 sold out positions. Let me share the screen. This is
Yeah, share
interesting.
that. Share that.
That's interesting stuff. Remove this.
I think I have to stop. Yeah, go for it.
And there you go.
Dude, Vanguard owns 9% of Microsoft.
You see this?
Yeah.
So here we saw this 43%. Increased positions. It gives you all the breakdown.
What's the
Decreased
time frame
positions.
though? When it says increased position, what's the time frame of that?
Oh, it doesn't say. I have no idea. It's a good question.
Oh, that could just be lifetime that people continue to purchase. Although
Yeah,
the
maybe.
time frame would be really nice to know.
So
Position.
it's funny, increased positions almost as much as decreased positions. And here, new positions and sold out positions, sold out is actually more, but not the number of shares, just the number of holders. Vanguard Group we saw. Well, you had different stats. What did you see for Vanguard Group? I thought it said like 6%. Here it's saying 4%. BlackRock is saying 3.4%. State Street, another big one, 4.5%.
Maybe that's the percentage of the institutional portion of the holdings.
Yeah.
Not the total company.
Well, I also wonder about, first of all, Vanguard has index funds and individual investors, a lot of them. So I wonder if this 4% is just more or less individual investors that are holding it in their accounts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would
part
be
of the
built in a
S&P.
different way. But still, I mean, it's not. This is decent information, but we still need more to like.
Yeah.
Okay, J.P. Morgan. What does J.P. Morgan got?
Well, I think this is good to look at, because when this number, let's look at Microsoft real quick. What happens to a company after a while, right?
You're going to see Congress owns 16%.
70%. So here you go, 70% institutional ownership. So I think this is a good signal when we are at 70% institutional ownership. Maybe that's a great time to trim a lot of shares.
Well, no, what it just means is that the stock price is going to move based on the trading habits of institutions versus retail investors. Like, look up Palantir right now, 97% retail.
I was going to look up.
Seriously,
Apple.
look up Palantir.
Hold on. Sure, let's look up Palantir.
This is great because this is like this lets you know out of the market cap
33%. There
All right.
you go.
So that tells you 66%, 666% of Palantir is owned by retail.
And let's see FUV.
Oh, it's going to say Mark.
5.81%. Look at this. Those guys are screwed.
95%. Retail. Yeah.
Once again, it's Vanguard is up here. So Invesco owns 97%. Okay.
And
hold on, this is 97%. I think they mean of
Yeah,
this.
no, but you're looking at change. You're looking at the change, not the shares held.
Oh,
See,
you're right. Yes. Okay. I
right?
was looking at the wrong thing. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
Change
Vanguard is
change in
still up there
shares.
though.
I mean, it's pocket change for them. Literally, they just went into
Yeah.
the couch and said, "Just let's just buy 5% of FUV."
So I think I had a point, but I'm curious because like you don't expect a lot of growth from Microsoft once institutions are involved, right? You don't expect it to 5x, for example. So I think this is a good thing to monitor. That once institutions own a lot of this, that
Hmm.
a DCA strategy out as it's getting higher and higher institutional ownership. Because look, I'm not going to be in it forever. I just want to be clear.
What, Tesla?
Yeah, I'm here to make some good money and then be on my way. I like that people say they want to hold stocks forever. That's great, but if I'm not getting some sort of a return from those stocks, like for example, if I can use it maybe to get money cheap and then use that money for other things, which is possible because you can go against your portfolio, right? As soon
Hmm.
as the shares are really expensive. So that's possible. Maybe I keep them longer. But I think the ideal is to pull out and go into safer investments that I don't need to 10x, like transfer it more to real estate, transfer it more to even dividend companies as I get older, because I just need a certain nut a year to just not worry about the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I was thinking about that as I was driving back today about like the levels of your investments. Like the first level is building the cash position. That's when you get a job of some kind and you build your income, and then you start to invest in companies, whether it be dividend or growth stocks. And yeah, I agree with you. Like I'm not going to. I don't think I'll hold Tesla forever. I don't think I'll have it. I don't think I'll have it forever. I might have some small portion of it forever, but Tesla, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this other stuff is really just it's building the level 3 investment portfolio, and that for me is where it becomes really like a real estate thing. My
So
own little mini real estate empire that where the dividends are rent checks and the growth is the housing market. I'm sure, and then I think that eventually some of that profits will feed the dividend portfolio,
right.
and then I think that that's the end game for me is to funnel this money out, take this money out, pay off all outstanding debts, basically get rid of any debts or any monthly bills that I have, flip that into real estate, then use that income to build a fat dividend portfolio that I can actually draw from and live off of.
Right. Well, basically, right. You don't want to sell. The whole point is I don't want to sell my stocks, but growth stocks you do have to eventually sell. And I think Cameron said instead of selling, he wrote just CC out, which means covered calls. Okay. Now there's a problem
Yeah,
with that because yes, you can do that absolutely, and that'll give you a nice income. But now you're still depending on Tesla either staying in a range or going up. If there's some massive correction or crash and it becomes Ford, we don't know. I'm just throwing it out there that 10 years from now, maybe the growth is over and it's should be valued at a 6 PE. Who knows, honestly, after the 10 years have passed.
right.
So I want to make sure I capture most of those gains, right? And I was looking at the camera. I'm getting used to looking at the camera.
Yeah.
I'm getting,
But
I'm
but
getting-
but if that happens,
but you
Vitaly,
follow what I'm saying? My
yeah,
train of thought?
I do, but I think that assumes that your money would just be dead money if you held it in Tesla. But what if they offer a dividend at a certain point? Like
I,
even if, or what if they spin off like the robo-taxi division? Like at some point
right.
they'll be able to, at some point Tesla will have more than enough money to continue expanding. I mean, even now, look at the R&D. It's 800 million. It's nothing.
It's so small. It's kind of
It's
crazy.
really small for a
How does
company.
Meta spend 10, 15
Billion.
billion? And then there's, it shows.
I mean, look, there's a bunch of links that are like, investors were wanting to audit Meta for where they're spending the money. But the point is, like, they're spending so little on their R&D
Right.
at some point, and that means that, and they have the money. Like, they could spend $1 billion or $2 billion. They could,
Of
but they
course
don't
they
need to,
can.
right? So once they have all their products, once they have like the full product line, the van, the bot, the robo-taxi network, energy, there'll be other products built on top of that. But like, now they're just a money printer. It's just like Apple, right? It's like Apple now. Well, we're waiting for the VR glasses, but they could really run this train, this iPhone, iPad, Apple
Mhm.
Watch thing for another 5 years and just keep paying investors dividend. If that happens, I mean, Tesla could quite possibly be the perfect stock.
It could be, but I guess I'll have to reassess in a decade. And I have PG saying sell deep in the money leaps. Okay. So I agree with a lot of this sentiment. I just don't know if there's a moment that things will switch. Tesla drops like a rock, sort of like it did right now, that if when sentiment switches, things fall very, very fast. And we should talk about that Tesla economics guy who totally went negative.
All right.
Did you see his video and everything about the Tesla economics guy?
Play it.
Okay. He's been, it's hilarious because like his father lost 10 million in betting on Tesla. Like, you have $10 million and you're
right to lose.
And you're you're trying to go all growth.
Yeah,
like, what? Just get yourself some AT&T, buddy, and relax, okay?
I'm saying you make your 7% or whatever it is every single year.
Lee is his name, right? Lee something. Which is, I mean, honestly, this is the first time I thought that guy's a douche and he should not be talking about investing at all because he has no balls to hold anything. As soon as it drops, I'm out.
Yeah, right, but if he got $10, like he's done something right. Like I can't.
Yeah, but if you have $10 million, you don't need I keep going back. You just don't need Tesla. You don't need them. But hold on. I just want to make this clear that selling deep in the money leaps. Yes, there's going to be a portion of my portfolio I want to keep to do that kind of stuff. Covered calls, sell the leaps, whatever. I agree there 100%. But I definitely want to take at least half of my position out, whenever that is, over 2 trillion, start DCing out, just to make sure I actually lock in those profits. Because like what happened in 2021, once again, right? It's like every 8 years we get screwed.
I don't want to get into that. We had
every 8 years we get screwed.
2021, we had a ton of cash sitting on a ton of profit and just waited.
We just waited, right? Yeah, we sat on it. I know. No, I sold some covered calls and everything, but that doesn't make up. That does not.
You're like, I lost $10 million, but I
made 50 grand in covered calls.
I made 50 grand, dude. Like I got a pool. Like
yeah, I did buy a pool. People are angry at me apparently about the pool. But basically, selling covered calls works. It gives you some income, but I think these stocks are so volatile that if the narrative switches, it switches fast on you. Like you don't have time to really react and know what's going on sometimes.
Yeah, but at that point in your life, you don't care. You don't need it. It's like my buddy whose grandfather gave him 6,500 shares of AT&T. The guy was like, whatever. Did I tell you guys that story about I think there was a finance chick, because my aunt helping that next door neighbor who like never left his house, was super frugal. And it turned out he had $28 million in the stock market that he made between like 1980. Everything was bought in like 1980. 90s, 2000, so 30 years, just bought some stuff in the 80s. 30 years later, $28 million.
That's crazy.
And it was still living like, like a college kid, this guy.
What's funny is if me and you did not touch our Bitcoin, did not touch our Apple, did not touch our Google, did not touch our Netflix, if we left all of it alone, because we've been investing for 20 years, we left all of it alone, we'd probably have 10 million plus easily. Like sitting around in these things.
Yeah. I've done the math.
Yeah, the math is horrific.
Done the math and been like, wow, but I mean, at that time, it was what I needed. It was what I needed to do. But what I've realized and what I feel is like you get this market turnover every 10 years, whether it's some massive world catalyst like 9/11 or housing crisis or COVID. There's going to be something else. And if you prepare for it, the gains that you make from the previous bull run or the previous whatever you want to call it, like flash crash, would fuel
the bear market. We're in a bear market. We should take advantage of it. That's what you're saying.
Take advantage of it now, and you buy it now. So it's like if you missed out on the 2008 to now, then okay, then the COVID one, you now know like in 2035. There's going to be something's going to happen. It kind of roughly happens every 10 years. Right. And you'll be able to capitalize on that. And, in the 2040s, in other words, like it's going to happen again. Yep. And if you're smart, if you've gone through enough of these, this is when you should be buying. Like this is when you should be buying. So the real
I spent a lot of money, by the way, today.
How much you spent today? What do you say on the
last couple of days? Yeah, I'll show.
On Amazon.
I'll go to our Discord. I'll show exactly, but I've spent more than I should.
Holding cash. I've still just been holding cash. I don't trust Powell. I think he's got something personal.
There could be a little bit of a rug pull coming, but
that's what I feel.
But the thing is, once again, I'm looking at the future, just what you're talking about here. I'm not looking at the next 6 months. I think that could be very treacherous. In fact, the calls I'm buying on Amazon that I bought today. I bought 2 calls, everybody, on Amazon. Yeah. Leaps till December 2025. $100 strike. Okay. and I paid, what was it, 3,400 and change. So each one, so that's around $7,000.
Mhm.
That means Amazon has to be over $130 by December 2025. I honestly think that's a reasonable bet.
It's beyond reasonable. I think it's damn near impossible that it's not. If it stayed stagnant like that for that many years, you're basically looking at Twitter stock, and then I think people would just sell out of it. But then, if they're not over 150, who's come in and challenged them and taken their market share? You know, like Kathy Woods, this whole thing, like disruptive innovation. ARK is the new NASDAQ and stuff. It people are laughing at it, but it's freaking true. Like the robots are coming, man. And it's not, people think that it's going to be like the Jetsons. It's not going to be like the robots in your house. It's going to be the factory workers are out of a job. It's going to be this idea of like unions going away because there's no more workers to do this stuff. You know, Amazon already has trucks that unload the pallets. Have you seen that? The ones that unload the pallets.
I think you're talking about the distant future. You're not talking about 5 years from now.
This is happening now.
It's starting to.
No, but there's a chart that shows. Just show. I guess if I can find it, or maybe you can see if you can find it. It's
the robots are coming.
The number of robots that Amazon employs. It's growing exponentially, man.
Let me see the number of robots versus Amazon employees
versus Amazon workers. Like that's going down. And so once that happens, I mean, it's all of that money that they're paying for their employees. Even if they just replace their workforce, they're gonna save so much cash. So
well,
even if they just
here's a quick article. Kathy Wood says that robots could outnumber, if she's right, of course. She also thinks Bitcoin is going to be what, $1 million a coin.
Oh no, $1 million by 2030.
Look, I want it to be that, but I also think the market cap of that is sort of insane. Kathy Wood says,
but that with inflation, dude, if they keep printing money, that's quite possible. It's not to say that $1 million will be worth what it is today, but it could be worth $1 million at face value.
So she's saying within 7 years, okay, robots will outnumber humans as Amazon workers. 7 years she's giving it. So let's say 2030. Let's just give it to her, right? Okay. Amazon has, this is what we're looking for. Amazon has already deployed more than 500,000 robots in its operations. That's interesting because how many employees do they have?
Oh, over 1 million. It's over 1 million employees. I was reading something. Somebody was complaining that Amazon was going to lay off a certain number of workers. They're like, it's not enough. You have a million something workers.
I wish you just said how many workers they had right now, but I don't know offhand. Amazon is the second largest private employer. Here you go. With more than 1 million employees. So isn't that crazy though? They already have half the number of robots as they do employees.
This is what I'm saying. And this is happening in the background. This is not like it's not news yet because we're thinking Boston Dynamics, right? We're thinking that the robots are just like walking around shaking hands and doing a bunch of stuff, but it's those menial repetitive tasks. And a lot of what the workers complain about is that they're essentially, if you really parse down on what they're complaining about, is that they're treated like they should be robots, right? Walk this path towards the boxes, in the aisles to get the packages. Take your bathroom breaks here. You have to punch in and punch out at this time. Like they're basically trying to make the workers robots because they want everything to be predictable. So at some point, Amazon's just going to make everyone a robot. Replace everyone with a robot. I 3 guys in the factory manning the robots and 1 guy there, a tech guy to fix it.
Well, I still think there's a period at least where people will work with robots, meaning like you're saying a tech guy, but I think just the Amazon employee who's doing the boxing will have a helper, which they're already doing
initially for like a year, dude.
For 1 year.
For like a year. I'm serious. For like a year.
It is a repetitive job. Okay, first of all, that job should go away. I totally agree. That job.
Yes, that guy's depressed and that guy becomes like an active shooter somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because did you see? Oh my God, did you see the? Yeah, I'm watching these videos, like even on TikTok, these rants from these Amazon employees who are just like, just so beaten down by what their life is.
Go ahead, bring it up. Like. Bring one up. This is a podcast for everything today. Yeah. I want to see when it's. I'll answer a question while you find that. Let me see.
Ranger the dog writes, BuzzFeed laid off writers in favor of ChatGPT. This is where it's going, bro. It's gonna happen. Crazy, so it's a massive rug pull. Let me look at that one. It was an epic Amazon TikTok rant. It was sad, man. It was so sad.
He's going to bring up the TikTok rant. I do want to see that. What about Enphase? PG says, what about Enphase? Are you going to discuss our beloved Enphase?
Well, we talked about doing
we will
a live stream for the
Well,
their
while you
earnings.
find that, why don't I share the Discord to show what people have been posting about Enphase? If you're not
Before
on a
he goes,
Discord, by the way, you,
Johnny Boy ripped into me a little bit. My camera
you
was
should definitely join our Discord because we have some great discussions there. Share screen. Let me see if it's up already. Can you share this? I don't know if you can share the Discord.
fine.
You
Should just share that
a
page.
window. There you go. I can do this.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Well, let me see what they said over here. This is, you know,
Johnny
I gave
Boy-
$5 per month to another channel. They give regular videos and better value. So
and then Johnny Boy's coming out. Yo, Johnny Boy, click the link in the description below and get on this freaking live right now.
But the thing is, they might get
Show
better
yourself.
value. Hold on, they might get better value in terms of giving you more content. But we brought Enphase out to the masses. Okay,
How
we're
much
bringing
money
it
have
to
you made on
everybody.
those other channels, bro?
Yeah. You're not gonna find the same engagement as you do with other people.
Right.
Okay, let me
But
see
it's
the
also
Enphase
like
channel.
this is you know what you know why this is? It's because we did not sell at the peak in May 2021. Honestly,
If we sold, we would have
dude,
shut
if
down
we
everything.
sold, if we sold, Vitaly and I would both be in Texas right now in our mansions. Like,
So I mean, we've been talking about this about Enphase, and we have a video that we're going to plan to do. We might as well tell them if hopefully we'll do this. We're going to contact Enphase and hopefully reach investor relations and just ask them why they have this sort of, you know, this sun back and forth discussion, this advertising campaign about the sun, and we think that'd be just interesting to hear investor relations say something on an actual call.
I doubt they'll even talk to us. I reached out to Palantir several times trying to just because there's a, you know, if you go to their website and you're like, if you're a business or even if you're a small business, see how we can work with you. I reached out to them like 5 times. Maybe they went to our channel or something, but like they won't talk to me. Then Enphase is not going to talk to you.
You never know. You never know who you can get to.
Does Badri is Badri on Twitter? Can we just tweet this shit
I
out
don't know
of
if
him?
he's on Twitter. Johnny, tell us if he's on Twitter.
Well, we know for a fact that they watch our videos.
Yes, we do know that.
We know that for a fact that he posted one of our videos in an internal memo. Someone tweeted us.
Yep. And I actually had a contact, someone in our Discord actually works at Enphase, and they contacted me offline, and they started a conversation and said Badri passed around one of our videos. So I think it was the installer Joe. You know the installer we had, Joe?
Yeah.
But look at this. Look at this sun advertising. Don't worry, Phil. I'll be back soon. So now, you know, who would be interested in this? Like first, Phil, who? Okay.
Well, right. Well, the question is a good one. Like the question is a good one. Like, who is that to?
It's Puxatani Phil, by the way. It's Puxatani Phil. But like literally, I have to go look up that you're talking about a hedgehog here or whatever. Don't worry, Phil.
It's corny. It's like
it's
level
cringe.
1. It's like level 1 marketing. It hits you like it's like direct marketing. It literally feels like a flyer that I get in the mail, you know, from next to something from like AARP.
I was gonna bring
or like a fucking coffin company. Which is sad.
So
you know, you pass 45 and you start getting direct mail messages, about coffins. You got those yet?
Here, it's your time to shine, little buddy, says the sun. New year, same me.
It's so geez, man.
Anyway, they're sort of ridiculous. So we're trying. I think we have to get to the bottom of this. I hope they stop it because it's really lunacy. I don't know who they're heading. First of all, if you're going to the installer, right, then the installer doesn't need to hear that. If you're going to the customer, why are they following your Twitter?
If they don't know if they don't know who you are, and you don't make solar panels, so
I don't know who you're going to because they have to follow your Twitter in order to know you're talking about the sun anyway. Like there's no good marketing that's happening here. And I think Sunny Coates said they need to have some sort of cool stuff like fly over through the factory, just show them being super productive.
Well,
he
showed that Tesla video, and that the Tesla video just shows you the product as a lifestyle. You're like, if I drive a Tesla, that's going to be me. I want a Tesla, right? And with Enphase, it's not as sexy. Like an inverter is not the sexiest thing, but it's what that opens up for you. If we lived in the same state, we would have definitely shot like a Tesla spec commercial. Like I've done some of those before, like a spec Reebok commercial. So you can put it on your reel and kind of show like, you just screw it. Like just do a spec one. Like we actually talked about doing some cool ideas for FUV when we were going to going up to Oregon. Like we would have done some bomb campaign for those guys.
People don't know. I'm a cinematographer. Carlos is an editor. We were actually going to go down to, where is it? Portlandia. Eugene, Portlandia, and we were gonna like try to just for free, just for fun and free, to film like some cool commercials for them that are a little bit more interesting. And
Yeah. They'll go down there and shoot some slow mo. I mean, it would have been amazing.
it never happened, of course, but maybe Mark is watching this, reliving the good times that we've had.
Wonder what those conversations.
No, we weren't in Oregon. PG, we were gonna fly over. I'm in New Jersey. Carlos is in California.
Yeah.
Sonny Coates is on. He's all over the place. He's just a millionaire living the life.
He's gone. He comes in and out of LA.
He invested in Enphase real early. So
25 cents was like an average price, right?
I don't know, under $1, whatever. Like, what does it matter? It's $220. It's
basically, it's over.
220x. And let me see. Dex says your house would be made of solar panels if you sold the top. I do have solar panels, but it's not made out of solar panels. So you're right. I did not sell the top. I did take profits though at the top. Amazon is building a huge distribution center 5 minutes from me, says Johnny. And let me see. He will make 100+ million in Enphase. Oh, you're saying Sonny Coates will?
Well, yeah, he's saying he would have made 100+ million. Let's just do a quick calculation.
Well, I mean, we don't know how many shares he had. We don't know when he sold.
You don't have to. Let's just do a quick calculation. If you bought, let's just say you bought. Let me see.
Yeah, so I think I just lost Carlos. Let me see what happened. Lost you. 200. Wait, how do you know he has 250,000 shares? Well, I try to get Carlos back. 250K to 250,000 buy-in. Is that what you're saying? 250,000 shares if you bought at $1. I don't know. Where are you getting this information from? That's a lot. Hold on, let me add Carlos. What'd you do? Click exit? You hit escape velocity? This was you like on GTA. You get out of the car? You jump out of the car?
The GoldenEye.
I pressed that a couple of times by accident. I'm like, why is he fucking jumping out of the car? Because I'm playing GTA now.
You died. No, I was trying to bring up the calculator, but then iCal opened up.
Right. Well, PG apparently says he has 250,000 shares to start. I don't think he put in that much money. I don't think. He was a musician from what I understood. He wasn't a business guy in the beginning. He just invested in. So that sounds like a lot of money to gamble on a penny stock, basically at $1.
Right.
I would bet he put in no more than like 30,000.
I'm just saying 10,000. I can't share a screen this small, unfortunately. Like I'm trying to share the calculator and it won't let me.
All right, just do the math.
I'm doing the math. Let's just say you bought 10,000.
I'm sure Sonny Coates is going to love this video when he watches it. And let's just say Sonny spent $10,000 at $1.
10,000? No, at 25 cents, literally.
No. Assume $1. You can't be 25 cents.
Well, then it's 10. Then that's an easy calculation. It's 10,000 shares.
Right, 10,000 shares. But assuming he sold half of it on the way up,
let's just say
5,000 left.
What did they peak at? They peaked at like
340.
No, wasn't it over 4?
No, it was like 340.
All right, okay. So let's just say 300 or 300. Yeah. So now you have $3 million. For every 10,000, you have 3 million.
And so let's say he got rid of half of them way early as it was going up, and he has 5,000 left. So he has $1.5 million. That's what you're saying?
1.75 million. Yeah.
I mean, still for one stock from $10,000.
Right.
It's bonkers.
And then he lost it all on Palantir.
And then he invested all in Palantir.
Then he gave it all to Carp.
Yeah.
And Carp wrote a poem about it.
Let's talk 5 minutes. Is anyone a Palantir bull here in our chat actually who's actually offended by what we're saying?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
Is there actually anyone on the Discord Patreon member that wants to join?
I don't know if anyone's going to join us, but
let me see.
Gigafactory. Sonny Coates is where? I'm not sure where he lives. He goes everywhere. And
he's in LA now. He's in California now.
Yeah.
Remember he was yelling because he rented he leased that Model 3 and he was pissed because it didn't have the ultrasonic sensors.
PG, one of the 10 people watching, wants to share a personal detail.
Come on, ahead. PG. Open up. Open up.
Open up. You're like with close friends here. It's basically no one's
here. This is a safe space.
Yeah, go ahead. Hold your breath. He's taking his time. He's really milking this. Uh,
Just give us your social
I know
security.
you got to go. Okay, so what's the next? While he comes up with that, what's the
Yeah.
next topic here?
Oh man, what else?
I asked about Palantir, but I don't know if there's enough people watching the Palantir thing. You want to talk about a bit about Enovix for 2 minutes?
Yo, I watched last night. I went on an Enovix freaking YouTube just rabbit hole, and I was watching the video where TJ Rogers was demonstrating. It was like 5 months ago where he was demonstrating
He was
how
doing the battery tech.
yeah, and he was showing you like what happens to a regular battery with like the voltmeter and the temperature meter, and showing you what happens to a regular battery, how it explodes,
Yep.
like a regular Samsung phone battery, how it can like go to whatever it was, 200 and something degrees Celsius.
Oh wait, hold on. He wrote it. This is interesting. At peak, I had 30 million. I had 80,000 Enphase shares. PG says. Wait, are you on our Discord, PG, or not? You had 30 million bucks, and then I went
80,000
ballers in Novavax. So what does that mean? You sold out of Enphase, 30 million, and you will put it all into that? What are you trying to say here?
He lost 15 million in Novavax. Holy balls.
How do you know you lost 15 million in Novavax?
He just commented it.
Oh, did I not see that? There you go. Lost 15 million in Novavax. Dude, okay. PG-13 apparently. Why?
Right, all right.
No, but why would you have $30 million? Like, why do you have to get greedy after that? Like, I don't understand. Like 30 million, first of all, 15 million is a lot of money.
He's not finished. He's not finished. He lost 15 million in Novavax. Then he got margin called in Enphase.
You're kidding.
Oh.
Why did you get...
because you saw remember Enphase tanked, bro. Enphase.
Oh shit, Lee and PG are the same person. Wait, is PG Lee's dad? That's the guy who lost $10 million. Lee's dad.
Wait, is that like Lee LG Investments?
No. Lee is the guy from Tesla Economics who told
Oh.
his father to go all into Tesla.
Right.
And his father went down 10 million, which means he had at least 20 million. That's what that means, right?
Right.
So PG is Lee's dad. That's my analysis of this situation. But I don't understand the greed, though. PG, I invite PG.
Then wait, he's not done with the story. My father-in-law has 71,000, still bought under $1. I'm sitting on 3,000 under $1. Then he got margin called again on the Tesla pullback, and then got margin called. Oh man, why are you so in margin? Why didn't you pull this stuff out?
Yeah,
margin
30 million. So how much do you have left? You admitted the 30 million. You know, you might as well say what you have left. Do you have at least? Are you still a millionaire? At least that.
Damn.
So anyone watching this video later, you're gonna have to follow the comments because we're talking to PG who's in the comments who apparently had
6 million
invested 80,000 shares, had 30 million in Enphase, and figured. I'm sorry. Look. This is terrible. What's happened to you? But like, I don't understand why you did all this. Well, okay, you have 6 million, so you're not totally screwed. You're totally fine. Obviously, you're better than most of Americans, better than most of the world, in fact. But honestly, if you get back to 30 million, like, call it quits. Call it like you can actually buy a nice yacht. You can have any house you want, almost anywhere, pretty much anywhere. You never have to work again, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And you can honestly, this is what I would do. If I had 6 million even in liquid cash, okay, liquid. This is very important. I'm saying this.
Right.
If I had 6 million in liquid cash, first thing I would do is go buy multiple apartment buildings.
Mm-hmm.
No joke.
And that's the funny thing about this. As much as it's like the finance channel, looking at stocks, looking at charts, like literally, if I had 6 million in cash, that's the first thing I would do. I would go down to Long Beach in California, and I would buy as many of the townhouses that I can, the 4-unit townhouses. I mean, I was
well, you can go 6, 8, 10. Like at that point, you can actually get a bit bigger. But even 4, okay, that's fine.
But they only the ones I was looking at were they really only make them 4 levels up.
And so how much is the rent per unit?
Oh, the rent per unit, I think we calculated we could make $14,000 a month.
No, 1 unit? No, you're talking about the whole building.
For all 4, yeah. For all 4.
Okay, so around 4,000 to 5,000 per year. Let's say
for
4,000.
a family. Yeah, you figure like a family, okay. Each person's paying about $2,000.
You take off 30, 40%. You're keeping 10,000 a month, and 10,000 a month, 120,000 a year. Look, you're not living the biggest lifestyle, but that's only one apartment building. Then you can pull out the cash out of that one after it's renovated and you have the tenants in there.
Yeah.
Pull out most of the cash, go do that again with a second apartment building, and do that every year. You can do 1 a year. You don't have to do 10 a year.
Yeah.
Absolutely a solid plan to continue just the easiest way to stay rich, basically. This is the
But
easiest way
keep
to
in
stay
mind,
rich.
if you've got, say, 6 to 10 million in cash, you have paid off your house, you've paid off all of your debts, you've
Yeah.
seeded all of the college for your kids, you're maxing out the IRAs, like literally everything is done. All that money that comes in is cream. So it's just for you to spend on your daily expenses, your travel, whatever your drug of choice is, whatever your
Well,
habit
you
is.
still have to live within a certain means. So 30 million gives you much more. I agree. Like you can do way more, but 6 million is enough to just buy a couple of apartment buildings. Like you said, a couple of those 4 units, make 10 on each around, even if it's 8 on each after all expenses. So you make between 8,000 and 16,000 on 2 buildings. And
A month.
honestly, you can, yes, a month. And then that's a pretty decent life for most people.
Well,
Obviously,
with
there's
zero
certain people.
expenses. Like
Yeah, well, there's
with
no
zero
expenses. You don't have
expenses,
to worry
like
about it.
zero hard costs. Like, okay, what happens at that point is you're not spending any money. You're not spending any money that's costing you interest, right? Like you don't have any debts that are costing that you're paying interest on. Like me right now, even if I eliminated all my debts, I have certain things that I pay for, services like cell phone service, a nanny service.
Yeah, but if you add up
food.
all those debts,
It's
let's say
3 grand a
5,000.
month. It's
Yeah,
like
5,000 even. Okay, so
right a month. I'm just
you're,
saying nothing.
you're still sitting with 2 buildings like that, 2 4 families, 10,000 plus, just
Yeah.
sitting there to invest if you want, honestly, because you own your own house free and clear. Why would you have a mortgage unless you just want it because you can use the money better somehow? But at a certain point, I don't want to have any debt. So, so he's saying he has an issue. I'm stuck with where I am, can't move. I have 2 special needs kids. Sorry for that. That definitely, obviously, then you have certain
Changes
restrictions.
things. Right.
But when your ecosystem is locked, you don't have property around where you live. Like, where do you live where you don't have like?
I think his ecosystem. I'm not.
I don't know what that means. What ecosystem is locked?
I
My
think he
goal was
means
to
his
leave
pers-
4
his
million to each
personal
of my
ecosystem.
kids post tax as passive income. Well, yeah. Okay, so even if it's not the real estate, honestly, a good dividend portfolio, averaging 5%, and then remember it grows. Dividends grow over time. So
Yeah.
So you're between 5 and 10% after a couple of years. Like let's say after 10 years.
But if you're pulling out that 5% every year, it's staying the same.
Well, but what's roughly 10% on 6 million?
Oh, on 6 million. Yeah, but you're not putting the whole 6
60.
million.
Well, I'm saying roughly that's like 60,000 times 6, 360,000.
Right.
That's possible. So even if it's 5%, that's 50,000 times 6 is
You
300,000.
took out 200,000, but it's 200,000 free and clear with no debts. Like it's literally just money in your pocket, tax free to spend every month after all of your reoccurring bills are paid and all of your hard debts are paid.
Yeah.
You can live a really great life like that. It's funny. Like I've had the most time off that I've had in probably since the pandemic. Since the pandemic, I've done nothing but work. Part of the reason that we don't have the output is because all I do is work. And this is the time I've had maybe about 2 weeks off now. And it's crazy because my wife also had some time off too. And we were just in the house the other day. The kid was in school, like, and there was nothing happening. And we were just like sitting in the living room, just like hanging out. And I was like, that this is like what retirement would be. She's like, this is fucking awesome. I'm like, yeah, we just need Bitcoin to hit the price targets. And that's the end of it, But then all of a sudden life just becomes about something different, like just becomes about something different. And I think that's got to be the goal, the freedom.
Well, yeah, because you have to hit some sort of a number. So me and you are aiming for, it's not just, I'm not aiming for like, oh, I need 10 million. Like that's great. I'm actually aiming for a number per month. And that number is around 15,000 would put me in a super comfortable where it's totally passive. I don't have to worry about it. That's what I'm aiming for.
It's actually not that much.
It's not that much. It's actually very doable.
Insensitive to like people's situation, but $15,000 a month, with a wife, 2 kids, and overhead and a very large
because I still want to do what I want to do. Meaning, I don't want to eat just, like a ramen every day and live a fire. There's a fire lifestyle where you can retire early, just like on 40 grand. People retire and they get 40 grand out of their portfolios every year.
Yeah,
and they just live really cheap lives, like just frugal, super cheap lives. I obviously don't want to do that. I like the nice car. I like a nice pool.
I was just going to say, you don't want to swim with the poor people.
hey. So basically, I think 15 grand would put me in a super comfortable. Anything over 10 starts to get really easy. 15 grand is like where it's super comfortable.
Hold on, Johnny. We were saying 5% on 6 million. 5% on 6 million. He's saying 4% on 6 million is 200.
Oh, even 4%. So he's saying 240,000 a year. So PG, you can totally just make even AT&T pays you, I think 6%.
6 or 7, yeah.
I'd never put it in that. I would put it into like SCHD and pick some sort of ETFs and just make sure
Personally,
it's well diversified, you know?
I'd put it right into Microsoft
No, you can't pick one stock. Once again, you're gambling
pick one
again.
of
No. That's this
for
is gambling.
for the dividend. I'm saying for the
VOO, VTI, SCHD, those are the stocks you pick. You collect your 4 or 5%.
SCHD has done me really well.
Yeah, but I'm saying you collect your 4 or 5%, and that's it. And then you 240,000 a year. I don't know. That's still a good chunk of cash a year.
Right. Like, who can't live on that?
Mm-hmm.
Who can't live a good life? And understand, all of your bills are paid. Like that's my level 3. That's my level 3. I think my level 1 was getting the portfolio going. My level 2 is when I bought the house. I bought the house with a relatively small investment that I made in 2004. And in 2014 or 2017, it was able to buy me a house, relatively small investment that just matured. Now it's ready. Now I'm ready for the next step, where these investments mature and allow me to now have my empire, and I can become a slumlord, which is my childhood dream.
I've been living your dreams.
Pay this man his money.
This is obviously isn't a math pod. Okay, look, we're drinking at the same time, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. But I think the logic is correct. What we're saying.
Yeah, it's the idea. It's the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if I knew. Does anyone else? Let us know in the comments. Does anyone else?
And PG, by the way, I'm envious. You still have 6 million liquid. You're telling me, so that's an amazing position to be in. That's
right. It
fantastic.
goes to show how well you did, that you can make mistakes and still be doing better than.
And when Enphase doubles, which it will, so his 6 is 12.
It'll be 12 million. Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen.
No, but I think he's got it. What did he say he's got it in?
At that point, by the way, if you do not pull out $6 million, I will find you, okay, and slap you silly. Like
you do all Liam Neeson. I will find you, and I will hit the.
I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are right now, but I will find you. Yeah,
he's all in currently in Enphase and Tesla. It's like this dude is freelancer finance guy number 3.
Right. I mean, honestly, if you want to come onto a separate pod and tell us your story, like in person, we'd be happy to have you on, because that is a crazy story. 30 million to even 6. It's still amazing, but wow, what a
crazy story. But he lived it. He's living it.
Yeah, you're living it, man. Okay, well, how are we gonna wrap this up, Carlos?
How are we gonna wrap this
up? That
up?
TikTok thing. Let's wrap it up with that TikTok thing. Hold
on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me I can take a step.
I want to hear Amazon employees.
It was actually really sad, man.
Enovix, right? We were talking about Enovix.
Oh, Enovix. Yeah, man. So I was watching.
The liquid is getting to the brain now.
Yeah, I guess. No, I was watching those Enovix videos, and I'm just like, this. It reminded me a lot of the videos that I would see of Tesla and Elon Musk when they were in, like, trying to grow and demonstrate their little technology. I just feel like I've been quietly building my cash position, and I am going to go a lot heavier into Enovix. I just feel like, even if they're not the one, I feel like they can license the technology to other people, even if it's not like every battery says Enovix on it.
So what do you want to say about Enovix? By the way, I recently bought an extra 100 shares. I forgot what I'm at. I'm close to 2,000 shares. I don't know exactly where I'm at, but somewhere around that range. And it ran up recently, so I think I'm at break even or close to it, somewhere around there.
You bought a lot higher.
I bought my average was like $11, and then I bought a bunch at $7. I think I bought a bunch.
So
at
now
$7.
you're at an average is like an 8.
9-ish. I don't know, somewhere around 9-ish. Yeah. Johnny's heading over to a Mitz live stream.
Peace.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, man. And PG said, I'm a tech guy. I understand Enovix technology and its challenges.
Yeah, I mean, Enovix.
Yeah, man. Seriously, we want to
play. Yeah, I'll talk about it. But like, I keep going back to, is Enovix a sure thing? And Johnny has put a lot of money into it. At this point, God, I don't know. It's like 20 million. This guy put a lot of money into it. He's going to fix my, he's going to correct me. But,
right.
I mean, he's like a CEO of that company, basically. And he was fired by TJ. He had his birthday party on the way out. Did that guy posted pictures, by the way, the former CEO of, like, the cake and everything. And it says, we're going to miss you.
Yeah.
Don't mind the boot.
Right. The boot in the cake.
The old CEO, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But TJ is a shrewd operator, so it's like I'm just having a lot of faith because I spent still 11 times, let's say almost 2,000 shares is what? That's still a lot of money. That's $22,000.
You're 22 grand into Enovix right now?
Somewhere in the 20, yeah, somewhere around 20,000 plus into Enovix. And it's all because of TJ.
Johnny, I thought you left, Johnny, with your
Yeah.
42,000 shares.
Yeah, he has 40. I mean, let's do the math. Can you break out the calculator? What's 40?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go over
Let's
Johnny's,
see
how much he's lost.
yeah. Yeah, what's your average price?
His average price is
42,000.
$13. I actually he
25.
admitted it, so we know everything about
All
Johnny.
right, so
We need to know.
he spent $554,000.
That's no small chunk change. Chunk change.
He spent $554,000. But
Right,
if he
and
has,
that's one of his positions. He has other stupid positions like in Palantir.
someone has to make Palantir make sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
But
To
anyway,
me-
to forget about that. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about Palantir further. But TJ is, I mean, after watching that battery video is when I think Johnny posted it. I forgot who posted it, but after I saw that video, and I saw it multiple times afterwards.
Yeah.
That battery video, if nobody has seen it and you're watching this stream later, you should find TJ Rogers doing the Enovix battery video.
5 months ago, yeah.
And it was like, you know what? This guy's no joke. If he's telling me this is something serious, that this is hard to do, and I understand actually what he's doing. My background is engineering, but still, I don't know the battery business. I'm not saying that. So if he's telling me this is really hard and they have solved a problem, I think there is upside in the company. I think I was buying it at 2 billion. What is it now? Like 2 billion, 2.5 billion? I forgot, somewhere around there.
I'm on the thing right
If you
now.
can look
They're
at
at 1.4 billion right now.
So I was probably buying them as a little bit over 2 billion, right? So two
Yeah,
and
but
a half
their
billion.
all-time high. Here's the thing: their all-time high is 35.82. So at the all-time high, Johnny Boy had. Survey says, hold on, 35
over a mil.
35.82. What did he say? I'm sorry.
600,000. 600,000. So you see it probably 1.2 million, right? If it's a double, 20,
Yeah.
25, 26
Well, it was
bucks.
30. What do we say? 35. Yeah, 35.82.
Oh,
All
that
right.
was the high, $35.
Yeah.
Damn, what a fall!
He
All
had.
all these companies fell, but
He had 1.5 million.
wow. Yeah. I mean, it sucks.
But
We
I
all
don't know.
lost a lot of money. We all lost a lot of money in this
That was
downturn.
November 2021 was the time to sell. Honestly, November 2021 was the time to sell.
Yeah,
Everything. Right before that, because typically you get that Santa Claus rally, and I think everybody was waiting to get some kind of last minute rally. Then it
And
didn't
we
happen.
didn't get
Then it kind of pumped
anything.
up again, and then it didn't happen, and it just kept dipping.
But
and
it
dipping.
happened
Then
now in January.
But is this really? Is that more like an Easter Bunny rally? Is this like a Valentine's Day rally?
This is a serious rally. I mean,
But-
Meta off of the low of 80 to 200. Well, I was buying Meta.
Yeah,
So
but what?
massive rally for me. Tesla from 100 to back to 200.
Yeah,
like-
but if Tesla went to 60, okay, if Tesla went to 60,
But
and
it's
then
still a
actually
rally.
went-
The rally counts.
I understand, but I'm saying if Tesla went down to 60 and then
Yeah.
went to 120, that's considered 100% gain.
It's
So the
still
lower-
massive. I get what you're
It
saying,
is,
but
but the lower it goes, because the lower it goes, the less the percentage means anything. If it's at
well,
if it's
no,
at 500,
you're wrong. It means less to people who bought at the 900 billion market cap.
Yeah.
I didn't buy there. I bought it at 40 billion. So it does mean a lot to me if I could buy it again at 60 bucks.
yes,
and it
yes.
goes to
Or if you
120.
if you bought the share, if you did buy the shares at the low, then it's just doubling whatever you put
Right.
into it. But even with all this, I'm down on a good portion of my lots still.
I'm not down
until
on
a certain point in time, like everything
I
before
think,
everything before 2020. You know,
Yeah, no. I bought very little over the $200 per share mark. So I might have one tiny itty bitty lot that's down, but I was not buying Tesla over those prices. And we talked about it many times. I just didn't want to pay that much. I felt it was expensive. I wasn't selling anything. That was my stupid mistake,
Mhm.
but I wasn't buying it because I thought it was expensive.
Mhm.
I was buying it only under 200 bucks.
Mhm.
And especially
Oh,
my
yeah, go
biggest buy is still back in 2018 when I say I went all in, quote, it wasn't all in, but I put a large amount of money between the $200 and $300 mark pre-split.
pre both splits.
Yeah, so that I don't know what that equates to, like $20 share.
Well, we did the math on it because
$30
it split 5x,
15
then
to
went 3x, so like 15 to 1. Yeah.
So I don't know, to 20, 30, $40 a share. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Okay. What do you think Enphase rally? Hold on. What was this question?
Oh no, share the Discord. Johnny Boy just posted it.
Share the Discord.
Acquired 12/08/2021, 5,000 shares at $24. Unrealized loss 78,000 and 22,000.
Where did he post that?
It's in the member updates in the
Okay.
yeah.
There you go. That's Johnny Boy right here. This is the multimillionaire guy.
That's
who
what I'm
owns
saying, right? Back in the day, the millionaire was like the rapper with the gold teeth. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Where's
And
the gold teeth? Where your
No,
gold
look at
teeth?
that dude right there. Is the face of a millionaire. He's got an EV back there.
I just want to tell you, Johnny Boy, next time you come out, just put a clock around your neck. That's all I ask for.
Right. And just take all your pictures like
Flavor
this.
Flav right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did he say? Vitaly,
just
what
go
language do
fly
you want
with
to
it.
be greeted with tomorrow? Okay. Well, you already did Russian and you did, I think, Chinese or Japanese, one or the other.
Ukrainian.
No, that's too close to Russian. Pick Iranian? I don't know. Is that... Okay, what do we have here?
Maltese.
So
Maltese.
Vitaly Carlo, 6 million at 4% is 240,000. Okay, said that. 5,000 shares at you bought 5,000 shares at $25? Is this what he's saying?
It was during the
shares?
run up. It was the run up in 2021.
Oh,
So he was buying. He was buying on the way up and didn't sell at the peak in November of 2021.
I thought you were at $13 average. I thought that's what he told me, or wrote it somewhere.
Right, but he's 42,000 shares. That's only 6,000 shares.
Yeah,
it's a small portion of the acquired.
I mean, you have a long way to go to catch up.
But here's the thing about it, like, the other thing I like about Enovix's product is that they're not selling the product directly. Like it's Samsung, it's Apple, like that's who's going to buy it, and they have unlimited cash.
Yes, if they were going direct to consumer, that might not be so great. But
there's nothing for a consumer.
Yeah, but the other problem is they're never going to be an Enphase. I know we keep talking about it, like a clickbait thing, like, is this the next Enphase? No, I think Enphase has a much easier ramp to those hundreds of billions of market cap, because just we know that solar's taking over this. Yes, the battery business is huge, but
it's like being Taiwan Semiconductor when Apple announces their reality glasses, right? Like they're going to make money because they're
Taiwan Semiconductor is worth hundreds of billions. I forgot how much, 700 billion.
Taiwan Semiconductor is not selling anything to you. It's just that everything you buy has a product of theirs in it.
Right.
So that's what I like about it. That's what I like about it is that if, and it's the big if they get that penetration and they get that customer, right? Like, for example, like Samsung does not like having certain phones banned on airplanes. That's a bad look, right? So
right.
They now just replace all of whatever it was, the Galaxy 7 with these batteries, and it works. That's a great customer. In other words, the company that you want to be investing in is the company that has like Apple as like their main customer, Samsung as a main customer. And the reality is like this idea of like supply shortages. Like think about how many batteries you need to make. Think about how much raw material you need to make a battery for a Tesla Semi versus the raw materials that you need to make a battery, an Enovix battery for one cell phone. It's nothing.
Okay. So, I mean, we can do some math too on this, but let's say they take over Samsung's phone business, meaning the batteries are in all Samsung's phones.
How many Samsung phones are sold a year?
And I assume the battery's somewhere a couple of bucks. Like there's no way Samsung's going to pay like $10 for the battery. I don't think that's going to happen. It better be like a few dollars because they're buying so many. They're buying,
say it's $2,
tens of millions, right? Well, I don't know. We actually should get some of these numbers and figure it out. Maybe Johnny knows. How much is the actual battery cost? How many batteries can they scale up to? This is way later because right now they can't make a lot and they're just doing sort of trial runs for companies to test. So we still have the issue, which we didn't bring up with Enovix, is that they're still scaling and they have a year and a half left to scale, which means a lot of things can go wrong. They can run out of money. It is possible. I know they have some in a cushion right there, like $300 million. We discussed this, but in a year, 2 years, if they haven't ramped up, they're going to the market. And actually, TJ said we are going to go to the market when we start ramping. So there are just problems. It's not going to be a perfect scenario. And the reason I still would rather buy Enphase is because, I mean, what's my downside? That I overpay by a little bit? Is that my downside?
For Enphase?
Yeah, my downside is that I don't lose my money, but maybe I don't make my 5x because I overpaid too much and I bought it at $300 or I bought it at $200 and I didn't buy it any, at 100 if it crashes to that.
Mhm.
So I think the downside is very limited for Enphase, where Enovix, the downside is all my money can be gone, honestly.
We talked about this on the phone the other day. I have a feeling that something bad is coming for Enphase soon. It's kind of like what we said about Tesla. One bad quarter.
When is it coming, man? I'm trying to
one
buy.
bad quarter, one something,
All
one.
right, do you think it's
metric.
Q1? I mean, sorry, do you think it's Q4 right now?
I don't
Next
know.
week. Next week is earnings.
We'll see. But I mean,
You think, okay, so April, we know that April in California is the last day to buy all the solar you could possibly buy before NEM 3.0 comes into effect. So I think there's a run up on all of this happening in up to Q1, that we're just going to see good numbers at least until Q1. Maybe Q2 is where it actually takes.
Maybe I just look, the markets again. Actually, go to the Yahoo page. What is the percentage of institutional? What is the percentage of Enphase that is held by institutions right now?
All right, let me check this.
I'm curious of that. And you know what? In the meantime, I'm gonna look up who's the top holders. It's fucking BlackRock, and it's gonna be those.
Okay, well, look at it. Look, Enphase is still yeah, it's a medium cap company, right? Meaning what, 40 billion, 35 billion, and 75% institutional ownership already.
Okay.
Bonkers.
Right. But again, we now, but what that means is institutional investors, yes, they do look at fundamentals, but they trade the price. Let's be honest. They're not as focused on fundamentals as we are, in my opinion.
They trade the quarterlies. That's what they trade.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, I'm on Yahoo right now. Vanguard owns 11.3% of Enphase. They have 15,387,000 shares, and BlackRock
more than Tesla.
Yes,
more than
and BlackRock.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's also the market cap. Like Enphase's market cap is what, 20 billion?
Well, it depends when you bought it, because if they would have bought Tesla when it was $40 billion, just like Enphase, right? They could have had more of the market. They could have had more shares, obviously, but
but Enphase hasn't had that run up yet. Right. You may think it has, but it hasn't had that.
No. And this is why I'm still in it. I'm still expecting my, my 3-4 to 10x, 3 to 10, somewhere in there.
82% of Enphase's shares are held by institutions. This is what it's saying on
82%?
On Yahoo. Go to Yahoo right now.
Well, this is NASDAQ. I think this is much more accurate. 74%.
All right, I'm just saying 2% held by insiders, 82% held by institutions, 85% of the float is held by institutions, and there's 1,300 institutions holding shares of Enphase.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is actually, in terms of just like, I haven't looked at this in a while. So seeing this much institutional ownership in Enphase and not in Tesla even, it's kind of bonkers. It shows you like how much, at least faith in the interim they have that this is going to make the money, do you know?
But you know what a great chart would be? A great chart would be to see that over time. Like, I don't want to know, like, obviously when Enphase was at $5, $6, $7, $8, $10, $20, this was a way different percentage. I'd want to see that. I want to see when it is that they bought, what was happening around them, what was the quarter. That would give you a tremendous amount of information about what the institutions are looking at to this.
I think we're going to wrap this up, but I think Sonny Coates is here. His favorite topic, probably Enovix and Enphase. We were talking about you, Sonny, earlier about how many shares we thought you had and how much money you have in the bank account. So you might want to review
how many M's in the bank account? In the bank.
We were saying you bought at least $10,000 worth of Enphase, and that's worth at least $1.5 million.
At $1 would be worth $1.5 million. Yeah, no, it would be worth $3 million something at the all-time high.
But if you bought 20,000, then he has 3 million at least.
Then he has Johnny Boy. Then he has Johnny Boy money, which from today forward will be known only as JB.
And PG should talk to Sonny because they both have a lot of Enphase. Both of these guys are granddaddies.
Well, yeah, if you look on Yahoo, it's like 2% held by insiders, 1% held by Johnny and Sonny Coates.
Worst performing stock in the NASDAQ 100 in January. Wait, which one? Enphase?
Was it Enphase? No.
Is that what you're talking about?
No. I was making a joke about.
Oh, he said much more. So okay, so he had invested more than 20,000 shares, 30,000 shares. I
Right, but
think,
you don't know the you don't know
yeah,
the
you know,
share.
I feel like we should have a
Share.
Patreon membership level for like Sonny and Johnny. That's different. Like they should have their own $1,000 level.
Oh, look, Sonny had at some point 250,000 shares. Insider secret that we just shared with all of the world of the 12 people watching this right now.
Oh man, right? If that's true,
That's a fuck
if
ton
that's
of
true,
shares.
Sonny, that's bonkers. No wonder you're flying all over the country. I mean,
Yeah,
all
no
over the
wonder.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's your private jet, though? That's really, if Kevin if
Yeah, but
Kevin has a private jet.
no, but I think what Sonny would say is the fact that I don't have a jet is why I have money. I'm not sitting there spending it on nonsense,
I don't know. I think I would want a yacht and a jet at some point.
Do you really want a yacht and a jet though?
Yeah, after I saw those yachts, I went to the Bahamas, and we'll end on this. I went to the Bahamas, and we stayed at the Atlantis Resort, right?
Yeah.
And the yachts park right there, where they go to the hotel, and we just started looking up who owns these yachts. Like it's pretty big people, like who own football teams and all this stuff. Some real estate people, like big real estate people, but like those yachts look magnificent. Like it looks like a fun time to have a yacht. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Do you see this? I'm sharing.
Oh, should I share it? Okay, we'll end with this.
Yeah. We're gonna end with this.
Sonny is a mega bull. Okay, so we're gonna end with this. Carlos is without a shirt. Just
get ready, guys, and gal.
Not safe for work. NSFF.
Yeah,
something like that. Boom.
Yeah.
This is back in the day, back in my garage where we used to play. We were musicians back in the day.
This was not in your garage. This was in the video store.
Oh, this was in the video store, not
this was in the video store. Yeah, Vitaly and I knew somebody who worked at the video store, and the owner of the video store let us set up our gear in the basement.
Who are all those people in the back? I can't even see them. I don't know who they are. I think that was
Ilya and Francisco.
So if anybody doesn't know, we'll end on this half nudie picture of Carlos.
Look at that. August 19th, 95. That's insane.
Yep, that's Carlos right here, and obviously without the shirt. I'm in the middle, and this guy to the left is a master guitarist named Alex.
God, the guy is a freaking guitar god.
Yep. Anyway, I think this is good. We'll continue the Enovix Part 2 discussion at some point and finish the call we started.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, a lot has happened. We should do the call and TJ kicking out the whole, management, all the C-level executives, and just taking over the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, the guy's not messing around.
Yeah, the
guy's not messing around. So I don't know, Ed. I went down that rabbit hole yesterday, and I was like, I really got to take a better look at this company. I don't trust Powell. He got me good last year.
But I mean, look, if they're gonna fail, I get spending. Let's say you buy 1,000 shares, $9,000 right now. If they fail, you lose $9,000. That's true. But if TJ gets to pull out even a 10x out of this, and that's possible, like 2 to 20, I consider that a possibility.
That would put them at what?
20 billion.
90 billion. 20 million? No, 90 billion.
No, 20. It's 2 billion to 10 billion.
Oh,
I'm sorry, 2 billion to 20 billion.
Right.
I'm not expecting no $100 billion yet. They haven't proven all of that stuff, but a 10x with TJ, it seems like TJ wouldn't do it if he didn't get his 10x, right?
The guy's loaded. He's not doing. He doesn't waste his time. He doesn't seem like the guy that's sitting around wasting his time, right? So if he can't clean up Enovix, he's going to shut the company down.
Oh man, that would suck for my investment, but I'm hoping TJ won't do that. Thoughts for next week's Enphase earnings? I think they're going to be baller. That's what I think is going to happen. I think there's a lot of demand still from Q4.
Okay,
that's still playing out, and I'm still thinking Q1 will be pretty good. I mean, rates are going up, but Q1 might show some kinks in the armor. That's where I think some kinks in the armor. And look, if I'm wrong, what do I get? I just get to buy Enphase cheaper.
Get to buy more. I'll take the other side of that bet, right? I'll take the other side of that bet, and I'll say even if they do well, or I'll say that they won't do well because interest rates have been so high that people are skeptical to take out the loans to fund the solar. Like I think that there's some other things working against Enphase. But even if they do well, I just think that now is the time that the bloodsuckers, the jerks that always come out when a company's doing too well are going to come out. And I think we're going to start to see some sort of a coordinated attack on Enphase. We saw this. Remember the whole videos we did when they were coming out for when Enphase first started doing well? The short sellers.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, those guys. Okay, short sellers don't like losing.
You're saying it's time that Enphase get a little bit dinged, just like every other major player got dinged.
They've not had their their moment in the hot seat, and I just can't see Enphase running up forever in this beautiful little solar bubble where they get to talk to the sun and Phil and him go off into the sunset. Nah, man. And so, yeah, I'm looking at it as an entry point because I do think that long term, obviously, the industry is going to be fine.
I have no problem with the tanking, by the way. I think PG does have a problem with the tanking. So PG, I hope you're not in a lot of margin right now. If it
no
does
margin,
tank. No margin for you, buddy.
No margin for anybody. Like, honestly, no margin. If you got out of margin and you're okay right now, fine.
Yeah.
Don't go into margin.
I've actually made sure over this whole last year, I was in margin in my main account. Over the last year, I've cleared out my margin. I don't want to be in it.
You did. To your credit, you were telling me before all this stuff went down. You're like, yo, if you're in margin, and I was in margin.
Yeah,
like,
get out of it.
I didn't listen. I didn't go further into margin, but I definitely had some scary calls there. And I definitely had to fork up some cash and trim some positions. And I mean, I'm fine now. And now I have plenty of margin, but I'm not touching it.
No. It would have to be the Enphase apocalypse for me to reach back into margin,
Right.
I'd rather not mess with that around.
The sun would have to stop tweeting.
Yeah, if the sun stops tweeting. If the moon starts tweeting, that's when I go into margin.
You're like, oh, I got these lunar panels to sell you.
Enphase, okay, last comment, Enphase will fall. All right, Mark, I win, by the way.
All right.
That's the reason I sold Enphase a bit higher. Not all of it, of course. I sold a good enough chunk where I was able to pay off some debt, buy some things I wanted to do. So that was important for me. Now I'm sitting on some cash, and now I'm just waiting for a better price on Enphase. That's it. I just got to wait. I got to be patient. And if I don't get it, that's why I don't sell everything. I don't go in and out. I'm not a Chris Patel. I can't
Yo, Chris Patel is a
in and out.
That guy in the alley with the I got a couple of small spread and this that
Yo, I got a spread right here on Enphase.
Right here,
you want the spread?
You want to see some spread? You know what I'm saying? Little peep show.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. The 10 of you who stuck around, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you next one. Good night.
Bye.